So today, as you all know, so we are I'm just giving a overview on the topics that we are going to cover in this entire course. Okay, so you know that so we are going to study with the Selenium with Java. Okay, I mean to say we are learning the Java with the we are learning the Selenium with the Java language. Okay, so first we will start with basic concepts like I'm just giving a overview why we have to opt the Selenium or automation in our work culture. Okay, I mean to say we already have a something called as a manual testing. Okay, so but why we have to go for the automation? What is the overview behind that? What is the agenda behind that? Why every companies or every market, everyone preferring to jump into the automation? Why can't we follow the manual approach? Okay, first we have to get to know basic theme of the jumping into any of the course. Okay, so then only we have to able to understand the flavor of it. Okay, so now tell me the first thing. Okay, what is software testing? I mean to say why we need to do the software testing. That is the first basic question. Okay, so whenever you are going for the interview as an QA, or even if you're experienced or even if you're a fresher, the first basic question is what is software testing? Means why we need to perform the software testing. What is the theme behind it? Okay. Okay. So anybody, able to answer this? Why we need to perform the software testing?
To identify the defects in the application.
Okay. So why we need? It's a question. Why we need software testing? Okay. Software testing. What happens not performing a testing? What happens if we deliver after the development? If we deliver the product directly to the customer, what happens and why we require this software testing now? So as as some of you answer, so to identify the defects or to report the functionality which is not working according to the customer requirement. Okay, so to identify that we must need the software testing. Okay, after development happens, right? So once the development completes, so it's a job of the test engineer to test the product or test the system. Okay, see what do we mean by the fully and rigorously? Okay, I mean to say on the particular product we have to test against the customer requirement. Okay, I mean to say we have to cover both the positive scenario and negative scenario. So when it comes to the positive scenario, which means that I'm talking about it's as per the customer requirement. So whatever the developer is developing, it is working as per the customer requirement or not. The positive testing. The positive testing. So whatever the future we are testing or whatever the product we are testing, whatever the product implemented, whether it is working as per the customer requirement or not, it is satisfying the customer requirement, or are we sending the right product to the customer or not? Okay, so we have to send a quality of product to the customer. Okay, so we have to cover all the positive scenarios here. Okay, so in the positive testing, by giving a positive inputs as per the customer requirement, we will be testing on the software or we will be testing on the product. Okay, so this is one part. So, as part of the testing, it's also our duty that in order to find a maximum number of defect, the very important thing is we have to perform the negative testing here. Okay, we have to perform the negative testing. Why we need to perform the negative testing? This is the this is the testing where we have to apply all our logical thinking. I mean to say we have to think out of the box. As per the requirement, my software is working as per the expectation, that is fine. Okay, what if I give a negative inputs, how my software is behaving? So my software has to handle negative scenario also. Okay, so that we have to deliver the quality of product to the customer by performing as much as possible negative scenario. Why? Because this is the testing where the testers will get a more chance to rise the bug. As per the requirement it is working, that is fine, but as per not the requirement also, it has to behave some particular parameters we have to apply there. Okay, so if you are giving a negative input, how it has to behave. Okay, it has to provide us the proper error message saying, it is, application is not able to give the proper result because you are entering the invalid inputs. Some negative scenario we need to handle here. Okay, so basically, why we need to perform the software testing? To deliver the quality of product to the customer. Okay, to deliver the to meet the customer expectation. Okay, so for that reason, software testing is very important. Okay, so before jumping directly into the automation, we need to understand all the basic pillars, we can say. Okay, so why we need a software testing? What happens if we deliver without testing any of the product? Okay, so what happens? All these things we have to know. So in the software testing, what happens? Again, we have a two approach here. Okay, so we have a two approach. Again, here we have a two approach. One is, as you all know already, manual testing. Okay, we have a manual testing. We have a automation testing. We have a automation testing. Okay, so when it comes to manual testing, again we have a multiple ways of testing. Okay, we have a functional testing and we have a non-functional testing. If you are already working in a in manual testing field, or if you already have a knowledge on it, you might have know this. So functional testing, and again non-functional testing. Okay, so again what happens here? Again, in this functional testing, we have a list of testing. You might have know already if you are working on a manual testing, or if you already have a knowledge on it. Okay. Again, we have a multiple testing here in the functional testing, and in the non-functional also we have a multiple testing here. Okay. So what happens here? In the manual testing, while we are performing the manual testing, something we called as a, see, we have a list of testing here. Okay, if I keep on entering all the list of testing here, it will just kill the time. Okay, we'll just I'm giving the overview on this. So we have a list of testing here, but I'm not going to specify all the testing now, because it's quite long. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm directly jumping into the some important testing where it is where it is allowing us to involve our automation. Okay, so in this manual testing, we have something called as a, so we have something called as retesting and regression testing. Okay, so we have retesting and regression testing. So retesting and regression testing. Okay, so these two, while we are performing the manual testing, okay, so these are the two areas where we are putting lot of effort and time. Okay, so these are the two areas where we are putting lot of effort and time. Okay, so because of these just two testing only, automation testing came into a picture. Okay, so how it came into the picture? What is the challenges we are facing in this two testing? Why it's, in this two testing, by looking into these two testing efforts, why we are jumping into the automation? So all these things we are going to learn now. Okay, so first, talking about the automation, before talking about the automation, so we'll understand what is this retesting and what is this regression testing, and what is the challenges that we were facing here. So that is, making us to make use of automation. Okay, so what is retesting? Anybody know? Anybody have a idea what is retesting here? When we have to, being a test engineer, when we have to perform the retesting, when we have to go for the retesting, what is the scenario that is opting us to make use of a retesting? Hmm. Hmm. If it is wrong also, no problem. Okay, I just want an interactive session.
Whenever the developer fixes the bug, the tester will test the bug. It is not. It's like a retesting.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, nice. So, for example, see here. Say suppose this is a build one. Okay, so in this build one, maybe this is the build one. So in this lot of functionalities already available. So here we test engineers. Okay, yeah. So here what we are doing, we are continuously keep on testing. Sorry, we are testing on this build one now. We started testing on this build one now. Okay, so when we are testing, we are started testing on this build one. So when we are testing this build one, we found some bug here. We found some defect here. Okay, so when we found some, bug here, immediately what we have done, so we have reported this to the developer. We have reported this to the developer. Hey developer, see this is what the requirement, but it is not working as per the requirement. Please fix it as soon as possible, developer. Okay. So then what happens? Bug life cycle came into the picture here. Okay, whenever you're rising some bug life cycle came into the picture here. What happens? This developer will come and he will check the bug, and he will just analyze the bug. Yes, okay. I will take up this bug. Yes, it's valid bug. Okay. Then he started fixing the bug. So whenever he started fixing the bug, okay, so I think you all know already the bug life cycle, right? So we have open, then fixing, and then z testing. Okay, that is where z testing came into the picture. So he started fixing into that bug. After fixing, what he has done, here we have the test engineer. Okay, so after fixing the bug, what happens? He's coming and he's notifying us, a test engineer, whatever the bug you have raised, yes, I fixed it. Okay, I fixed it. Yes, okay, please test it again. So what he's telling, please test it again. So okay, what test it, so he's telling that test it again. So then what he has done now, he has released he has released one more build, that build 2. He released the build 2. Okay, so here what's happening, so he's telling that okay, so see here, whatever the bug you raised, yeah, I fixed it. Okay, please check the build 2. All the fixed bug is available in this, please test it, please retest it, like that he's telling. Okay, so what this test engineer is doing now, okay, this test engineer has raised the bug which is raised in the build 1 has been fixed and released in the build 2. Okay, so whatever the functionality he or she tested here, again she is testing in the build 2 because is telling that it is fixed here. Then while test engineer, he or she is testing this build 2, what he is testing here, that fix it, whatever the fix he has given here, that he or she is testing here. While testing this build 2 also, some issue again this test engineer has found. Again the same cycle starts. Hey, no, whatever you fixed, still, I'm seeing some issue in this. Please look into it, then fix it. Okay, then he's analyzing, taking again the same, same story repeats. Okay, he's taking this and he's analyzing this and he's, okay, okay, I will give the fix. Then what happens again? It will, he release the build 3 again. Build 3 again. Okay, then again he's notifying a tester, please test it. It is in a build 3. Yes, okay. Then the tester is coming here in the build 3 and again start testing it. Okay, so after testing it, there may be a chance that again he or she finds some defect. Okay, again there may be a chance. So if you can see here, the same functionality we are testing again and again until the fix is done properly. Okay, so the same functionality we are retesting again and again here. Okay, so this is nothing but retesting on the same functionality. Okay, so this is a lot of time consuming process and effort is also more. Okay, so this tester already fed up with testing the same functionality again and again. One second. Okay, so this tester become fed up already by testing the same functionality again and again. Okay, same story again and again. By testing is already fed up. She is fed up and she's not at all interested in testing again. Okay, what is this again and again same functionality? So started scolding a developer and all already. Okay, so this is a very tedious job, and nobody wants to perform the same action again and again. Okay, so this is where the automation came into the picture. This is one story. Okay, this is a separate story. So one more story we have, that is regression testing now. Okay, so what is this regression testing now? Okay, let me open the separate tab. New, save it. Okay, so that is one reason. Okay, retesting, hope you already understand. So now, when it comes to the regression testing, so what's happening here? Consider this is our application. Okay, so this is one application here. What's happening here? So we have a something called as a username, username field, and we have something called as a password and confirm password, and okay, and here we have a login button, and here we have a cancel button. Okay, so this is the login button and this is the cancel button. So here this is my so this is my username, and this is my password. This is my confirm password. This is my login. This is my cancel button. Okay. Yeah. So what's happening? This is in a build one. This is in a build one. So what happens here? This is a first page. Okay. Maybe this is a login page. Okay. So in this login page, what's happening? Maybe we are adding some future here. What is this? This is maybe email ID. Okay. So email ID future we are adding here. Okay. Then again the requirement is telling that add the email ID future here. Okay. So maybe email ID future we are newly adding here on the same page, on the login page. This is the email ID. And then what's happening? Then a business product owner or someone is instructing that we have to uh, update, we have to update instead of username to the user ID here. Okay, we have to update. See, before, whenever the username we were specifying, it has to accept the string type of data. Now the field has been changed to the user ID. Okay, now the field has been changed to the user ID. Okay, so it has to accept the integer type of data now. Okay, so now it's a email new feature has been added here. It's a email. So now again one more thing, that I don't want a cancel button. We don't want a cancel button in the login page. We just want a login button here. Okay, so if you look at here in this page, so what are the changes happen? So we have updated the field year, we have added the field year, and we have removed the field year. So updation is done, addition is done, and deletion is done. Okay. So these are the three activities as done on the same page. Updation is done, deletion is done, and addition is done. Okay. So what is the regression exact meaning? So you know that we have updated something, we have added something, we have deleted something. So because of this addition, deletion, and updation, so the existing functionality, which is unchanged functionality, what is unchanged here? Password and confirm password is not changed at all. Password and confirm password and the login button is not changed at all. From starting of the requirement to till now, it is remains the same constant. There's no any change expecting from this. So because of this updation, addition, and deletion, that these changes should not affect the unchanged functionalities. Okay, so what are the constant functionality are there, it should not affect, it should not impact on the unchanged functionality. So here again, some testing come into the picture, that impact analysis testing. Okay, so because of these activities, it should not affect the other futures. Okay, so this is nothing but the regression testing. So what happens in the regression testing? So we will be keep on, see, if you take a one sprint, if you're following the agile methodology, there will be lot of changes, addition, deletion, updation, everything will be happening. Okay, so because of that addition and deletion and updation, it should not affect the other functionalities. Okay, before releasing product to the customer, we have to test it thoroughly, and we have to perform the regression testing in order to check other features is not affecting because of this activity. Okay, so this is a continuous process until we release the product. This is a continuous process. If okay, today in the build one this is happened, okay, we done the testing. Okay, maybe while performing regression testing, again we found some issue. Okay, so when we found some issue, again developer is fixing that, again we start retest, performing a regression testing, means all the unchanged future and also changed future. First we have to test the changed future, then again we have to go and we have to test the unchanged future, to make sure these changes is not impacting on the unchanged future. So all this, this is a continuous process. This is also time consuming process, and efforts also required a lot. So in this testing also, say suppose I'm just trying to give the real time example. See in our in our company what's happening. So now we have a release on a Monday. Okay, but we are constantly after they're releasing the build. Okay, they released your first build. In that also we found some nine bugs in that. Then again we have reported that, again they fixed. Okay, and we are after giving the fix, again we done a kind of regression testing. Then okay, then again we found some bug, again we have informed them, and again we are performing a regression testing, and again they fixed it. So like this, for the single release, we have done four times of regression testing already. Okay, so four times of okay, and also still we are not confident that we are sending a quality of product to the customer. Again our release itself is postponed now. Okay, so in that case, see, if we have to do this all the testings again and again, maybe we will be having a lot of futures, right? Lot of test cases we will be having. All the test cases, if you want to run four times, means look at the time and effort that we are wasting a lot of time, and we are putting a lot of effort in order to send the delivery product, in order to deliver the quality of product to the customer. Okay, so this is very tedious job. This somehow we have to avoid it. This is where, okay, so when we are performing retesting, and when we are performing the regression testing, so we are wasting our lot of time and effort, we have to avoid it somehow. Okay, so this is the time where we are jumping towards the automation. Okay, this is the this is a making us to make use of our automation. Okay, here where the automation came into the picture. Okay, so manual testing is nothing but testing the software manually. Here there is no any third party tool is involved. Okay, testing it manually, that's it. Okay, but yeah, when we are jumping into the Selenium, we are using there are so many tools are available outside the market. but which is most famous and which is more convenient for all the test engineer, and which is high demand on the market. That is what we are learning it today. Okay, so Selenium is high demand, and everyone are crazy about using a Selenium. So that is what we are going to learn in this course. Okay, so now, okay, understood, right? What is the regression testing, what is retesting, and why we are going for the Selenium? If you understood, means that is more than enough. Okay, yeah. Okay, now the thing is, as part of this course, okay, I'm telling that, oh yeah, the we are going to learn the Selenium, all those things, but what we are learning in that course? So what is the course content? Okay, so this is what we required, right? So what is the course content? So first, before jumping into the Selenium, first we have to learn the Java. Okay, uh, so first we'll discuss about the advantage of automation, then we will discuss on it. Okay, so you can ask me the question that why we have to learn the Selenium. There are so many open source tool available outside the market. Okay, but why we have to go for the Selenium? The first thing is advantage is of Selenium. Okay, Mm. Advantages of Selenium. What is the advantages of Selenium? As you all know, okay, so this is a open source. Okay, this is the open source. What do you mean by open source? You no need to pay single amount to make use of it. Okay, it's a open source. Okay, so to take its license to use this, you no need to pay anything. Okay, just you have to configure and you have to start work on it. It's a free. Okay, so this is the first and most advantage. Okay, this is the first advantage is open source. It's a open source tool. Okay, so you just need the configuration to make use of it. So the next thing is, the very important thing is, and the beauty of the Selenium is it support multiple languages. Multiple language. Okay, it support multiple languages. Okay, so it support multiple languages. So suppose it supports Java, so that we are going to learn. So it supports Java, and it supports Python, and it supports C hash, and it supports Ruby, so on. Okay, nowadays we are using JavaScript also, right? Yeah. Okay, so it supports a multiple language, not only the single language, it supports multiple language. For example, some other tools whatever we have, so those tools why we are not using means those few tools are not giving a compatibility like Selenium. Okay, I mean to say this supports multiple languages, and also it's open source tool, and maybe other tools are they will not, they stick to the some particular language. Okay, so they will not support a multiple languages how the Selenium is supporting. So, and one more thing is it supports not only the multiple language, it supports multiple operating system. op- Multiple operating system. Okay, so I mean to say it support multiple operating system means we have our Windows, we have our Linux, we have our Mac OS. Okay, so it supports all the operating systems. Okay, this is one good thing. And also it supports multiple browser. This is very very important. Okay, multiple, this is what we need being a test engineer, this is what we require. Browsers, multiple browsers. Okay, so this we called as a cross browser testing. Okay, technical term, if you want to speak about technically, cross browser testing. Okay, so what is this multiple browser? See, if you are working in a web based application, this is very important. Okay, so if you are working in a web based application, the cross browser testing or supporting of a multiple browser is very, very important. Why? Because your application has to support all the type of the browser, because you doesn't know, being a customer, in which browser they are opening your application. If they are opening in the Chrome, yes, it has to behave how it was behaving earlier. If you're opening in the Edge, if you're opening in some other browser, IE browser, okay, so in all the browser it has to behave the same. So testing in multiple browser whenever you are working in a web based application is very important. So say suppose you have a three test cases here. You have a three test cases. Okay. So if these test cases, say suppose this is a web based application only. Okay, it's a web based application. So if you have, okay, if you don't have a multiple browser supporting tool, means what was the issue was happening. This three test cases, say suppose you have a three browser. One is a Chrome, maybe one is a Chrome, and one is a Edge, and one is a IE. Okay, IE browser. Okay, so what was happening? Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, so what's happening here? See, this is the three test cases. If you want to validate this test cases, means if you want to check whether your application is working perfectly fine in all kind of the browser, okay. So what you have to do, these three test cases you have to execute first in the Chrome, first in the Edge, and next in the High. So 333, totally 9 times of execution you have to perform. Okay. So if you don't have a multi-browser support, but since you have a multi-browser support, so what happens? We can do the cross-browser testing. Okay. These three test cases, you know, at a time parallelly, it will trigger the multiple browsers in order to validate on the multiple browsers. Okay, so this is very important because in single execution we can get the report of the three browsers also. Okay, this is very important, supporting for the multiple browser. Okay, and as you already know, it supports the parallel testing. Okay, parallels testing. Yeah, okay, parallel testing. Okay. Hmm. Okay, then what else we have? And also we can integrate with the parallel testing, and also we can integrate with the third party tools. Okay, so what is that third party tools? Selenium can integrate with third party tools. Okay, so like what are the third party tools we have? So we have we are going to learn no this. Okay, all this most of the tools we will be learning. We have a test ng. Okay, we have a test ng. We have a cucumber, important one. Okay, cucumber. We have something called as a maven. We have something called as Jenkins. We have something called as Git and GitHub. Okay.
What is the difference between Selenium and Cucumber?
See, Cucumber is means it's a framework. Okay, so Selenium means this is the library that we are using to perform our automation testing. So this is the framework that we are adapting in our projects. Okay, so don't worry, the project which we are learning in this course is on Cucumber only. Okay, this is just, we have a hybrid, hybrid, and also data driven, hybrid, key driven, all those approach we have, right? But instead of the data driven, or instead of a hybrid, this is all old methodology to implement the framework. Okay, but this Cucumber is a new, at least running in the market. Okay, new to framework that's running in the market. It's quite easier compared to other model. Okay, so this is what we will be learning in the project. Yeah, okay, by going forward, I will tell
What
you
is
the
the
complete
meaning
detail.
of framework? Okay.
See, framework is nothing but the project implementation. See here, what you are doing here in the Selenium, you will be learning all the library information. Means how you can handle the elements which you are achieving in the manual testing, right? So whatever the action you are doing in the manual testing, the same thing you have to achieve automatically in the Selenium. So by making use of the Selenium, by making use of the methods and interfaces which is available inside the Selenium, you will be achieving that. But when it comes to the project, you have to handle it everything dynamically. Okay, project is nothing but framework. So here, topic wise you will be learning. Then you have to combine all the topic and you have to handle the scenarios dynamically. Okay, for example, you're launching the browser, you're performing, you're opening your application, and after opening the application, you're working on some future, some test cases you are working. Okay, so that is, you are doing all the manual efforts you are putting there to achieve that. But in the Selenium, everything has to happen. Just whenever you click on the run, everything just has to happen automatically, right? So that is how you have to achieve with the Selenium. So you have a manual experience, or you are a fresher?
I'm a fresher. I have learned manual testing by self-learning.
Okay. Okay, dear. Yeah, no problem. Okay. So if you have learned the manual testing, no need to hurry. Okay. See, this course is designed in such a way that who is, if you have a less experience, or if you have a, no experience, if you have a zero experience, or if you are if you have worked on the manual testing now, if you want to jump into the automation, for everyone, the course is designed. Okay, means we are taking from very basic to the from very scratch to the advance. Okay, so this is all the things. See, this is one methodology. Cucumber is nothing but one methodology. I will tell you. Okay, if you are a very fresher to this, first, you have to understand the Selenium things and all. Then you will understand after involving into the Selenium testing. Then you will understand, by going slowly, you will understand what is this test ng, what is this Cucumber, what is this Maven, what is this Jenkins, and what is this GitHub, why we are integrating this, why we have to integrate test ng, why we have to follow the Cucumber approach, and why we have to create the project in Maven, why can't we create a Java project only. So what is the advantages we have on the Maven project over the Java project? So all this, and also why we need this Jenkins, why can't we execute in the local only, what is the advantage of integrating the Jenkins, how it will work, how it is useful for the test engineer. So all these things, okay, if you talk now only, you will not understand. You have to involve in the process. Once after getting into this, once after getting the knowledge of this, then adopting these tools, external tools. Okay, so then you will understand slowly. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, so this is all the advantages we have on the Selenium. Okay, so now okay, because of these all the advantages, so in the market Selenium is booming, means it's always have a high demand. Okay. uh, yeah, so now next thing we'll talk about what are the content we are going to cover in this. Okay, so what are the content we are going to cover? Don't save. Okay, first we are learning about the Java. Okay, because Java is, see, before, while you are performing the manual test, manual testing. They will ask you the interview questions, right? What is the difference between the manual testing and automation testing? The first answer you will tell like, yes, executing the test cases manually is the manual testing, right? And also executing by writing the scripts is nothing but automation testing. Okay. And to perform the manual testing, you don't require to knowledge on the programming, but to perform the automation testing you require the knowledge on the programming, right? So now we are learning the automation. So if we are learning the automation means we require the knowledge on the Java program, because we are using the Java in this course. Okay. So first we have to understand what is the Java and what are the things we are going to learn in the Java. Okay. So Java, the first thing is basics of Java. Okay. So basics of Java. Does anybody have a knowledge on Java already?
Yes, I have
Basics.
some knowledge about this.
Okay, okay, nice. Okay, basics of Java. Okay, then what we are going to cover in the basics of Java. What are the topics will comes under the Java? Yeah. So what is Java? The first question is what is Java? Okay, we'll understanding the theory of the Java. Then variable, something called as a variable concept. Okay, variables and data types. Okay, then operations in Java. Okay. So then after learning this, then control statements. Okay. Then after control statement, something called as a strings and arrays. Okay. Then after that, access modifier. Access modifiers. Okay, so this is all the basics of Java. So variable and data types. Okay, means data types means what kind of data it is holding, so we have to define. Okay, and what is the means we have to declare the variable, and this variable is holding of the data of this type. Okay, so then operations means we have additional, subtraction, multiplication. So some operations we have, right? Apart from that, so all the operation we will be doing here. And control statement to have the condition in our execution. Okay, so you have the condition in your execution, we need to learn the control statements, how we can control on the scenarios. Okay, then string and arrays, what is the importance of string, how to define the string, how to handle the string. And array concept, what is array, how to define the array, how to handle the array. So why we required, what is the advantage, what is the disadvantage, because of this advantage which topic is we are making use in order to come out of this disadvantage. And access modifiers, like level of access modifying nothing but if you are defining any class, if you're defining any variable, if you're defining any methods, what is the level of access that we have in order to access the particular class or particular data or particular method. Okay, so all these things will be learning. This comes under the very basic. Okay, so first we are learning all the basic things, then we are jumping into the next part. Okay, so this is all basic concepts. Okay, then next, something called as a oops concept. This is very very important. Okay, oops concept. See, I'm just giving a headline of the each and every concept. Okay, I'm not going to write everything here. Oops concepts. Hmm. In this oops concepts, what we are going to learn? What is the advantage of oops? What is the advantage of oops? Okay. Then class and object. What is class? What is object? How to define? And then packages. Okay. We have what is packages? How to define this? This earned super keyword. This earned super keyword. keyword. Okay, and something called as a static keyword, and something called as, so the here constructor, just add a constructor also. Yeah, we have a constructor topic. This is also very important topic. Okay, packages comma constructor, and we have a static keyword here, and after the static keyword, polymorphism. Okay, how to achieve the polymorphism? So after that, something called as a encapsulation. So we call it as a pillars of the Java. Okay, pillars of the hoops concept, encapsulation, and abstraction, and something called interface. We have interfaces, and one more keyword we have, like a final keyword, understanding of the final keyword. Okay, because while writing the script in the Selenium, we will be making use of all these keywords. Okay, so this is what we will be covering in the oops concepts. Still more we have. Okay, while we are working, we'll discuss all those things. Okay. Mm, yeah, just important concepts, just I'm specifying it. Okay, just I'm giving overview on the concepts here. Then exception handling. Okay, exception handling, complete about exception, like what is exception. So what is exception, and types of exception. Okay, and handling exception, and understanding about the finally keyword, and understanding through and throws. Okay, and then finally the collection, Java collection. This is very very important topic. Okay, if you are attending the Selenium interview, the first thing they will ask on the framework, collection framework only. If you are very strong in this framework, okay, all the if you're attending a Selenium interview, they expect you to be a strong in the expect you to be the strong in the say this collection topic. Okay, so in this collection, so the first thing, understanding the hierarchy of the collection. Hierarchy of collection framework. Hierarchy of the collection, and something called as a, we have a many interfaces in this. Okay, under the collection we have many interfaces. See, being a test engineer, what I can say is, as per my experience, um, understanding some basic interface thoroughly is more than enough. Okay, I will tell you while I'm covering the topics, I will tell you what are all the interfaces we are often using in in day to day life. I mean to say in framework or in a project. So if you understand those things, that is more than enough. Okay, something called as a linked list, and list interface, and hash map and set. Okay, hash map and set. Has set. Okay, and yeah, just overview are given. While we are learning, we'll be covering all the topics which comes under the particular topics. Okay, because if I keep on writing all these things means it will take much time, right? So yeah, just I will give you the overview. See, first we are covering the basic. Okay, because the basic and all will be easy. Okay, here all like conceptual wise, the basic things you have to be very strong. So first we are covering a basic, then we are jumping into something called as a oops concept. This is also very important in order to work with the project and all. Okay, so we have to include our oops concept while we are working in the projects. Then we are jumping into the exception handling. Okay, so why exception? Because our program has to handle the exception because it should not stop because of the exception. My execution has to go very smooth. Okay, so because of some exception it should not stop my execution. Okay, so in order to do that we have to include all the exception concepts in our project. Okay, my execution should not stop because of some unwanted exception. Okay, so because of that we are including this topic here. So this Java collection, why this is came into picture is, so see, array concept plays a major role. Okay, this data structure plays a major role whenever we are working. Okay, so but we are facing some issue in the array. Why? Because this array always accepts the homogeneous data, and once we declare its size, or it's not possible to string its size or grow its size. Okay, the fixed is fixed only. Initially, whatever we define, that is a fixed. Okay, and also it always accepts the homogeneous data. Okay, I mean homogeneous data means if you are storing only one type of data means if you are storing integer type, yes, it accepts only integer type. It's not possible to pass any other data type into this. But this has become a very hectic very tedious job for the programmers. See, it is accepting only single type of data. What if, for example, let's take an example of an employee. Employee, for employee array, we have to give a employee name, employee ID, and employee's address, and maybe employee some other information. So which means that they're all data types we are using. But this array, what's happening here, it is accepting only single type of data means it's not possible to store all the employee information in the single array. So we have to define the multiple arrays in order to handle that data, and then we have to do all the typecasting, that this everything we have to do. Then the program become a to achieve the single task, small task, we have to write a lengthy program. Then whoever is learning first time, by looking into that they will feel that okay, it's a very tough, I can't handle, I can't write. No, Java is very tough, like that we will start as talking about the Java. Okay, so in order to avoid all those issues, so they have developed something called as a collection. Okay, so to overcome the issue that we were facing in array, then we have come this collection framework came into the picture. So here we are trying to resolve all the issues that we were facing in the array. How we are resolving, how it is resolving the issue, disadvantages that we were facing in array, how it is making it that clear, means how it is helpful, that and all while we are learning we'll discuss. Okay, so this is all the Java concepts that we are going to cover in this. So okay, this is
What
the Java
about
concepts.
option?
So
What about threads concept?
sorry, sorry.
Thread
Yes,
concept.
yes, yeah, multiple, yeah. Set concepts also, yeah, will include. Sorry, dear. Yeah, I forgot to add this. Okay, that's what. Okay, just overview, main concepts, things, and I'm giving. But almost all the Java concepts, what are all the things required while we are learning the Selenium, will be covered all the things. Okay, no need to see file concept also. I missed here. Okay, file handling also I
Okay.
have to add here. Very sorry if I missed some of the things, but all the Java things will be covered in the course. Okay. See, file handling is also very important, because we come across the situation to handle the files also. I missed while writing all these things. Whatever the things I missed, just have a note of it. But all the things will be covered. All the Java part will be covered. Okay. Maybe you guys will receive a content through the mail. So just go through the content that everything specified. Okay. Then when it comes to the Selenium, okay. So when it comes to the Selenium, so what we are doing here is we are dividing the Selenium into the three parts. Okay. So we are dividing the Selenium into the three parts. Selenium. Okay. So we are dividing into four parts, right? Okay. What is that four parts? This is one part. Let it be this side. Okay. This is chapter 1. Okay. In Selenium. First thing. What is this chapter 1 is defining? Chapter 1. Yeah. So in the chapter 1, what we are covering? Introduction to Selenium. Introduction to the Selenium. Okay. Then what is the introduction in Selenium? What are the topics going to cover in this? Selenium introduction, Selenium intro. Okay. Then Selenium architecture. Then installation and setup. Installation and setup. Then what is set property in Selenium? Okay. What is set property in Selenium? Then how to launch the browser, and understanding the class diagram of the Selenium. Understanding the class diagram of WebDriver, and then understanding the methods of WebDriver. Methods of WebDriver. Okay. And understanding the HTML DOM structure. Once after understanding the HTML DOM structure, talking about the locators. Okay. Understanding the different locators. Then after understanding about the complete locators, we'll be performing the login scenario. We'll be performing the login scenario. Okay, this is very important interview question. Okay, even if you're experienced, even if you're freshers. Okay, so for everyone, the first question they're going to ask: can you please write the login scenario? Okay, so the first question they're going to ask: login scenario, web elements, web elements. and then we'll understand synchronization. Okay, so this and all comes under the chapter 1. Okay, so done with the chapter 1. Okay, these are all the topics we'll be going to cover as part of the chapter 1. Okay, the next thing, chapter 2, we'll be dividing it. Okay, so that it will be clear to learn as well, chapter wise, right? So here, chapter 2, chapter 2. So what we are going to learn in the chapter 2? Handling of elements. Handling of elements. Okay, under this handling of elements, what we are handling? We are handling auto suggestion. We are handling auto suggestion. We are handling, drop down. We are handling mouse over. We are handling drag and drop. We are handling right click. We are handling double click. We are handling context. Context menu. We're handling sliders. We're handling scroll bars. Basically, what are all the elements is available on a application. Okay, scroll bar. We're handling frames, and we're handling something called as a pop-ups. Alert pop-ups. And notifications. See, this is all the things you come across whenever you're working in a application, right? All the elements, what are all the things comes while we are, when we open now any of the web application, what are all the action that we can do, everything we have to achieve in the Selenium now. Okay, file upload and download. Okay, then hidden division, and child browser pop-ups, handling the child browser pop-ups. Okay, and screenshots, very important, right? Because it has to capture your execution whenever it's failing. Screenshots where it has failed, it has to capture, right? And keyword functions. Where it's gone. My God. Ouch. Got a life. I thought where it's gone. Hmm. Okay. Keyword functions. Keyword functions. Okay. So after handling elements, then the third chapter is Chapter 3 will be on learning some tools. So, what is the tools learning here? We are working on some data driven. Okay, data driven. See, again here, I'm not specifying everything. Okay, because anyway, you will receive a content. Okay, just main part I will be explaining your Excel, how to handle with the Excel, or how to handle with the property file. Okay, how to achieve a data driven with the both ways, and learning about the form. Okay, very important. Learning about the form, page object model. Then learning about the test ng. Very important. These are all the things. Okay. And when it comes to the chapter 4, okay. So here we are implementing this is the final thing. Okay, implementing the Maven project, not a normal project. It's a Maven project. Why we are using this? We'll study in the course. Okay, Maven project and project structure and design, designing a framework, implementing the framework, and after implementing, executing. So basically, how to design the framework, how to prepare the project structure, how to design the framework, how to implement the framework, how to execute it. Okay, executing the framework, executions, and after the execution, integration with the GitHub and integration with the CI bar, CD tool, nothing but Jenkins. Okay, then take this, keep it in a chapter 4. Chap- Okay, so this is what the plan. Okay, so we will be dividing. So first we will be learning this what is this Java. Okay, so first we will be learning the Java. Soon after the Java, so we'll be dividing the Selenium into the 4 parts. So chapter wise we'll be learning the all the concepts. Okay, so after learning these concepts, then finally we are implementing on project. Okay, so this is how in real time we follow the same way we will be following it. So in this I was telling you like cucumber. So cucumber is the framework which is booming in the market now. Okay, so all the organizations, I suppose if we are using any other framework now, everyone are tends to jump to the cucumber. Okay, so migration they are doing to the cucumber framework because that's a lightweight framework and it's a very easy framework. Anybody can understand that framework easily. Okay, something called as the king language we use there, that is same like a plain English. We will speaking here the same way we have to create the all the future file and all. Based on that future file we will be creating the method inside. I will be telling the okay, same approach we are following here. So here I forgot to add, so we are implementing the cucumber framework here. Okay, which is booming in the market. Cucumber, yeah. Okay, cucumber framework. Okay, so if you can see the Naukri, okay, everyone are expecting to have a knowledge on the cucumber because all the organization following this approach. Okay, you just go and search in a Naukri about Selenium openings. Okay, in each and every company's job description, just check they will be specifying the candidate should have a knowledge on the cucumber. because it's an high demand in the market. Okay, because of it has a lot of advantage. We'll be discussing all those things while we are learning. Okay, so this is what the plan, guys. Okay, um, so today what we are done. So we discussed what is software testing, why it is required software testing, and what happens if we are sending the project without testing on the product. Okay, so that is one thing. So you can see the importance of the QC in that, right? So if we are not properly validating, that means if we send a defect with the defect product means there may be a chance of loss in the business, right? Okay, we plays a major role in that. Okay, so after that we are seeing that what is manual testing and automation testing, how it is differ. What are the two major areas which is insisting us to make use of or jump into the automation. One is retesting and regression testing. Because of the challenges that we were facing in the retesting and regression testing, we are jumping into the automation. Okay, so here in the automation, we required some programming language knowledge. So first we are learning all the Java concept, then we are jumping into the Selenium. So in the Java, I've already explained what are the topics. All the topics of the Java will be covered, which are basically required to work with the automation. Then after covering the Java, then we are jumping into the Selenium. In the Selenium, we are dividing into the four parts. Still, we have a multiple, maybe I missed some of the headlines here to specify some of the topics here. So maybe you will be receiving in the content details. So all the things will be covered as part of the Selenium. Finally, these are all the first we will be covering all those things. See, these are all the elements which are present on the web application. For example, if I open this, okay, if I open here, so these are all the elements, right? So this is also one element, this is also an element, this is also an element, this is also an element, this is also element. All these are elements. How can I handle these elements? Okay, so all these things will be learning. So after that, mm, okay, then learning some tools knowledge here, and finally after learning each and everything which is required, then we are handling the project. Okay, so this is what the plan. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Anything else you want to ask or anything else you want to discuss before winding up the session?
Yes, Harshal. So this is regards to the only weekend sessions, right? So how many hours you will be taking?
Uh-huh. We are planning the weekend session. So we are planning to take a 2.5 hour. Okay. I mean to say covering a 5 hours of session in a 2 days. I mean to say Saturday and Sunday. We'll be taking a 2.5 hour sessions.
Okay. So this training is for 8 weeks, right?
Sorry, training is for?
Only 8 weekends.
Yes, yes, yeah. 8 weekends. Yes, 8 weekends. We're planning to cover within the 8 weekends.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. Any other queries, guys, before winding up the session? Hmm. Yeah. Can I take this silence as no question? I know it's a weekend. I don't want to, waste your time much. Yeah. If you don't have any question, miss, then we'll wind up the session for today. Okay. If you have any queries,
Tomorrow 10 a.m., right? Continuation will be tomorrow 10 a.m., right?
yes, yes, yeah, 10 a.m.
10. Yeah, yeah,
If there is
perfect.
any change, means they will just give a mail intimation. Maybe it's a 10 a.m. only.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So anything else? Hope it's clear, right? So I think hope I covered all the
Harshal,
things.
tomorrow is also a demo session.
Yes, dear. Yeah. Tomorrow is also demo session.
Okay.
Then we will start the actual session. Okay.
Okay, Harshal.
Yeah. So we'll see after, once all of you are enrolled, according to your opinion also, we'll see about the timing as well. Okay. It's all about your convenient. We'll discuss that later. So, okay. So I don't want to take a much time. I know it's a weekend. I don't want to keep you guys here only. So, yeah, if you have any queries, if you want to speak with me, okay, just, call the management and just tell my name. They will connect with me if you want to take any confirmation before enrolling. Okay. If you want any clarity on the subject or on the course, you can connect, okay, by call the management and just inform them to connect with me. They will connect. Just before enrolling, you just take a confirmation, okay, because you have to be have a clear idea what you're doing, right? So just take a confirmation, then you can do it. Okay. Yeah. Then chalo, yeah, bye, take care, happy weekends.
Thank you, Harshil. Same to you.
Thank you. Yeah, bye bye.